Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about how not to let your job consume who you are. There's a sentence that sounds a little cold, but the longer you live, the more you realize it's true. Your boss will not remember the nights you stayed late. Not because they're a bad person, but because that's how work systems operate. The system remembers results, deadlines, and whether tomorrow runs smoothly. You, if you're not careful, will remember those nights in a different way. Through declining health, through a relationship that slowly fades, through the feeling that you tried so hard, and yet life didn't open up more options. If you're a man between 28 and 50, working corporate, blue-collar, tech, finance, sales, and you feel like you're constantly bracing yourself, you're the reliable one, the one who carries, the one who struggles to say no. And sometimes you're afraid that if you stop carrying, you'll lose your place. These minutes are for you, not so you work less, but so you work more intelligently. So work becomes part of your life, not your identity. And so you can build the most important thing in today's market: options. Let me tell you a short story. I once knew someone, let's call him H. H wasn't flashy. He was steady, solid. When the company was short-staffed, H stayed. When projects were on fire, H handled them. There were long stretches when he got home after 10 p.m., week after week. In return, he received something dangerously addictive: the feeling of being needed. That feeling makes a man feel valuable. H believed that if he became indispensable, he would be safe. Then restructuring came. Quietly, no drama. A short meeting, polite words, and the familiar line: "It's not personal." H stood in the parking lot for a long time afterward. I remember his eyes, not the eyes of someone who just lost a job, but the eyes of someone who realized he had placed his identity somewhere it never truly belonged. That's where many men stumble. A job is something you do. It is not something you are. But when you attach "I am" to your title, you begin living to protect that title. You start chasing validation through emails, praise, being mentioned in meetings. And when that validation doesn't come, or comes and disappears, you feel destabilized, because you let others decide your worth. I'm saying this slowly because it's the root of burnout. Burnout isn't just working too much. It's working too much while feeling like you have to prove you deserve to exist there. The truth is simpler. At work, people don't pay for sacrifice the way we imagine. They pay for value delivered, measurable value, problems solved, results created, risks reduced, time saved, revenue increased. You can be kind. But kindness alone doesn't increase your market value. You can be hardworking. But hard work alone doesn't create options. Options come when you build portable value. Value that follows you if you leave the company. Proof that follows you if you change managers. Reputation that survives industry shifts. And this is where conscious response saves lives. There will be moments, 5:30 p.m. Someone throws extra work your way. Normal tone. No bad intent. Can you help with this? We need it tomorrow. You're tired. You want to go home. Your automatic reaction is to say yes, because you fear being judged, because you fear losing opportunity, because you're used to carrying. A conscious response isn't arguing. It's pausing for 2 seconds, taking one breath, and calmly saying something you can use today. I can do it, but to deliver this on time, which task should I deprioritize, A or B? No attitude, no power play, just clarity on trade-offs. Your time is finite. Adults don't promise with emotion. They promise with priorities. When you say that, something interesting happens. People start respecting you more. Not because you're tough, because you're clear. You don't let work silently spill past your boundaries. You still perform, but you perform with a system, not self-erosion. Now, about systems. If you don't want work to consume you, you need small habits that are measurable and repeatable, even when busy. Here's the first one. 15 minutes a week. Just 15. And open a private document. Write down what value you created that week. Not to brag, to remember, to measure, to speak from evidence later, not feelings. I reduced error rates by X%. I saved the team X hours. I solved this problem, and here was the outcome. 15 minutes a week. In 1 year, that's 52 documented proofs of your value. Many dismiss this, but it's the foundation of options. At the same time, 30 minutes a day. One skill close to money, one portable skill. Not random learning. Choose something tied to your current role or where you want to go. Basic data analysis, automation, writing clearer proposals, sales, negotiation, project management. 30 minutes, not to become a genius, but to be slightly harder to replace each month. Let me tell you another story. Someone I know, call him K. K worked in a high-pressure team. Everyone busy, everything urgent. K wasn't loud, but he had a habit. 15 minutes weekly, documenting outcomes. And after a few months, he built a simple one-page case study. Nothing fancy. Clear problem. Action taken. Before versus after. Results. Maybe something like, reduced reporting time by 2 hours per week. Sounds small. That's 100 hours a year. More importantly, he turned effort into understandable value. Later, during a casual coffee chat, no job request, no complaints, he simply said, "I've been working on this. Here's how I measured it." The other person paused. "Can you send that to me?" 2 weeks later, "We're looking for someone like this. Can I refer you?" Referrals beat resumes. Often you're not lacking ability. You're lacking someone willing to say, "I know this person." And for someone to risk their credibility on you, you need 2 things. You can do the work. You can prove it. No drama. No quitting in anger. Just compounded value. 15 minutes weekly to preserve proof. 30 minutes daily to build skill. When opportunity passes by, you're ready to grab it. The world doesn't pay for potential. It pays for proof. And let's avoid extremes. This isn't about hating your company. Companies are structures. Your boss is also pressured by the system. You can still work responsibly, ethically, and thoroughly. The difference is this. You don't donate your identity to your calendar. You don't measure your human worth by praise. You protect your self-respect by building options. And options don't make you arrogant. Options make you calm. What you need isn't motivation. You need momentum. Losing momentum is what quietly destroys good things. You can rest for a day. Just don't quit entirely. You can feel tired for a week. Just don't tell yourself the story that your time is over. If today you can only do one thing, choose the smallest real action. This week, 15 minutes documenting your value. Tomorrow, 30 minutes building a portable skill. And next time late-day work appears, use the trade-off sentence. I can do it. Which task should I pause to prioritize this? You'll be surprised how life starts shifting from small sentences like that. Because ultimately, you don't want to be remembered for late nights. You want to live as someone with options, someone valuable beyond a title, someone who works well and still has a life left. If you do this long enough, time will eventually stand on your side, quietly, but surely. Thank you for spending these minutes with me. Rest well. Tomorrow is a new day. Wishing you peace and strength.